My first guest in this hour, I'm delighted to say, is Dr. Sebastian Gorka, a good friend of the Independent Republic of Mike Graham, a man who I have to say I witnessed eviscerating Kay Burley from Sky News just a few short hours ago. And I have to say, Sebastian, you were on great form this morning. I mean, you are a man who sleeps even less than I do, for heaven's sake.
I'm a night owl, and it was fun to sit here at 1:30 and what can I say? Just destroy somebody who thinks she's a journalist. I'm embarrassed for her. I mean, truly, I texted you in the middle of my interview and say, what is this? Who is this person? She's clearly reading talking points about America, has no idea what she's talking about, unlike you, and you're a real pro.
Well, Sebastian, listen, it's turning into a fascinating night already. Already the president, as you said, quite rightly just the other day, is coming up on the rails. He seems to have the big Mo with him. It looks as though he may have worked some kind of miracle in Florida, considering what we were being told by all the pollsters a few days ago.
It's stunning. I had one of the smartest guys on my show today. You know who Lord Conrad Black is.
Yes.
And we discussed the fact that one man who wasn't a politician and who really isn't still a politician, Mike, has returned us to the age of original stump speeches on the hustings of 70, 60 years ago. You know, people, we've been told, oh, it's about social media, it's about micro-targeting of ads on Facebook. Garbage. When you do, I had Kayleigh McEnany, the president's national spokeswoman, on the show today on America First. When in the last 14 days, you do 34 events. He did 5 yesterday. And the last one in Pennsylvania 2 days ago, I had a friend on the ground, and she texted me, just spoken to the Secret Service, we had 57,000 people in attendance. That's how you get people excited. That's how you get people to buy into a vision of making America great again, as opposed to, you know, hiding in your basement like sleepy, creepy Beijing Biden.
And you have to say, that's an important kind of aspect for many people who might be wavering at the last minute, thinking, you know, does Joe Biden really look to you, Sebastian, as a man, if he was elected, who could sit in the chair in the Oval Office for 4 years? Because he doesn't look like that to me. He doesn't look like he would be able to do much very long without having to get quite a lot of rest.
Brit Hume is one of the most sober journalists in the United States. He's in a kind of semi-retired capacity, but he comes on Fox News now and again. And Brit Hume gave an interview about a month ago with something called The Federalist. It's a superb conservative website over here. And in the podcast, with no hesitation, Brit Hume, one of these real measured straight shooters, says, well, of course Joe Biden's got senility. I mean, James Woods, one of the Twitter masters out there, the actor James Woods, said about 6 weeks ago, look, let's be honest, I've got dementia in my family, and if you've ever suffered alongside somebody in your family who has premature senility or dementia, these are the signs. This is what it looks like. They can't go to events after 6 p.m., and they have this hair trigger of aggression. You saw that with Biden when he was asked about the Second Amendment's rights when he was in a Chrysler factory. This is a man who is a cipher. He's a cardboard cutout. He wouldn't really be the president if he won. And behind him is this radicalized Democrat Party. You know, the Democrat Party of JFK, of Scoop Jackson, is gone, and it's run by people who believe in the Green New Deal and that we shouldn't have borders.
Well, he doesn't want fossil fuels, but the other thing that surprised me, and you're a man that knows a thing or two about guns, Sebastian, he wants to do away with assault rifles, and he wants to attack the NRA. Now, whether or not you agree with the NRA, whether or not you agree with the amount of gun ownership in the US, which of course most British people don't really understand, it seems a bizarre area to choose to attack, doesn't it?
It's one of the reasons I sadly left the UK, because of the gun laws and how they changed. Here in America, we call the Second Amendment a civil right, the right to defend yourself with a firearm. And we say it is the amendment that makes all the others possible, including freedom of speech. But Mike, there is no logic to this campaign. They seem to be a hostage of their own extremist ideology, whether it's saying we're going to come after your assault rifles. We have never seen firearm sales, the likes of which we've seen in the last few months. Every month, we've been breaking the records. And then on top of that, you go to Pennsylvania and you talk about banning fracking. For the first time, since the discovery of the hydrocarbon, America is a net exporter of energy, in large part because of the hydraulic fracking that the president has unleashed. And now you want to take that driver of wealth away from people in Pennsylvania or Texas. This is a suicidal Harry-Kiri campaign, and I think Biden's going to pay the price tonight.
And what do you think is likely to be the mood right now inside the Trump White House? Because he's there with his family. I mean, it's always good to be the incumbent president because you get to sit there, as you saw when he announced whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, announcing the Rose Garden. And you were there, and he's got the White House in the background. He looks like the president. He is the president. And you look like you want to believe in the president. Whereas the other guy is kind of standing, writing. I don't know. Here's another one, right? He writes on the wall of his childhood home. You know, if I was inside a house and some old guy came in and wanted to write on the wall, I think I'd be going, would you write, getting lost? Write it on a piece of glass or something and stick it up there.
Give him an ASBO straight away. Look, this is, what's the atmosphere like? I don't want to tempt fate, but this man, Donald Trump, my boss, is the ultimate closer. This is a man, you've seen him at the rallies. He takes joy in his fellow Americans. It's like fuel to him because they understand that he loves this country. This is a man who's lost millions, if not billions of dollars by becoming president. This is a man who every quarter, I don't know if your viewers and listeners know this, every quarter we have a little ceremony where he gives his paycheck back as president because he doesn't want to take any money from the taxpayer. He's given back more than $1 million to the taxpayer in the last 4 years as president. He's only there for one reason, to drain the swamp and to make America great again. So I'm going to be cautious here, but I think he doesn't drink. We know that. So there's no champagne chilling for him. But I think it is very, very cautious trepidation about a very, very positive result coming imminently for the people who love this nation, Mike.